Hey, it's Ari Smith of the Commander Smiths here with Switcheroo. Tonight I'm going to be doing Trelasarra and Hinata Dawn Crowned. Um, and this is just a series of deck techs slash upgrading or changing cards out of current decks that I have and just wanting to work on it, make it smoother, make it better, make it worse, whatever. Just play with new cards. It's kind of fun for me. It's what I do on a consistent basis. Rensha, you will not do my Hinata. That sounds very gross. I will admit that. But actually I'm gonna save this one for second because I'm doing almost a huge overhaul on it. Um, actually, I had heroic and now I'm gonna try and go with maybe some walls, some wall themes, and we'll see if I can fit that in there or not. I am not entirely sure that'll work. So I will start off with Trey Lassar tonight, but Commander Smiths is a podcast that comes out every Wednesday. We do a bunch of different stuff like talk about cards, talk about um philosophies, we have a play a couple of games, and if you want to check that, that's cool. We do shorts every Monday and Friday about cards. Adam makes proxies. We generally do something Sunday night and Thursday nights along, for streaming on YouTube. Uh, just wait until next weekend. I can't wait. That's the whole thing here. Um, and so got a stack of cards that I want to try and fit into Trelasarra. I'll go over what Trelasarra is as the commander, and then I will go through the cards I want to fit in, and then we'll go through the deck just to kind of going over it, talking about it, and what we can get going on with it. And I don't know if there's anything else. We have a Patreon that gets you into our Discord. We try and play once a week or once a month with our patrons at least, and we also record those games, put them on YouTube. So if you want to be a star, become a patron. That sounded awful, right? Yeah, probably, probably not. All right. Okay, Trelasarra, Moon Dancer. It's a green and a white 2/2 elf cleric. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Trelasarra, Moon Dancer, and scry 1. So this gets big pretty quick, gains a bunch of life, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So some of the cards that I want to see if I can get added in or not, I don't know. But that's kind of the whole point. Just trying to upgrade the decks for um in real life playing next weekend. All right. New cards. There's going to be a lot of new cards. Some other cards I just want to try and fit in there. But Gallic Readers. This has Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on Gallic Readers. Create a tapped treasure token. You gain 2 life. So it's gaining the 2 life and as the battlefield under your control. So it can be cool. It can go big. It can ramp a little bit. Kind of does a little bit of everything. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but we will see. Rumor Gatherer is going to be good enough. It will go in this deck. There's a lot of scrying, and just getting that draw is going to be awesome. Voice of the Blessed. Whenever you gain a life, put a 1/1 counter on Voice of the Blessed. If Trelasarra gets huge, this will also get huge. And then the more it has on there, Flying Vigilance. And then when you have 10 or more, it has Indestructible. It should be pretty cool in here. Sub Hockey. How many times are you going to put Curse of the Swine in a deck? This is a green and white deck, but Curse of the Swine is in Hinata. I added that in this time. I'm making it a little bit meaner, so you call me out. I get it. Okay, so this is a gain life deck. I've wanted to do this. So the Book of the Exalted Deeds, it's 3 white for an artifact. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Then you can pay 3 white, tap it, exile it, put an enlightened counter on target angel. It gains you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. So I want to do that. This was kind of a little standard combo. Faceless Haven is a creature with every creature type. So once it becomes a land, that token stays on, and you basically can't lose the game. This would also work with Mutavault. I might have to grab that, and also, I don't think I'm snow covered lands. So, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I don't have snow covered land in here, so that's something that I'll have to do off camera as well. But should be a fun little combo to not lose the game. 14 of his Calamax decks as well. No, I don't. I only have 3 Calamax decks, and it's a sorcery, so it wouldn't work in there. Adoy? Okay, Alright. Austere Command is just a good way to, gain removal and be flexible there, so just seeing if that can fit in there. Courser of Crewfix is a way to get a little bit of advantage off the top. Like if I scry into a land, I can play it off the top, gain a life, scry again. It can work kind of nicely there. Next Fleece Ram is just early blocker that can gain me life. Chalice of Life, I think is going to be it's decently easy to be 10 or more life than my starting life total, and then you can just start doming people for 5 life. So it might be cool. Fight Rigging 3, Enchantment, Hideaway 5. At the beginning combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, which Trelasarra is easily able to do, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So, pretty easily to do the Hideaway 5 here. Um, you can play this. Trelasarra can already be there or going to be there, and then boom, it happens. It could be cool. Nykthos Paragon. Whenever you gain life, you may put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Um, do this only once each turn. You're gaining a bunch of life. By the time your Soul Sisters, by the time it comes around, it's probably, you added 3 counters. It should be solid. Accomplished Alchemist is just a card that got the full art foil, so I'll switch that in. But add 1 mana of any color, or add X mana of any color, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. It's solid. Jetty Offshoot, landfall, you gain a life. Mentor of the Meek is just whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. And this works really well with Trelasarra because you have the ETB of creatures, you gain the life off of it, you pay the 1, you're drawing if you want it, or you scry it away if you don't. So it's pretty sweet that way. Paradise Plume. Um, I might already regret doing it. I just picked up a foil. When it comes into play, choose a color. Whenever a player plays a spell of the chosen color, you may gain 1 life. Add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. Still might be all right. It's a little bit of ramp, a little bit of life gain. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1. Gain a life or return target card with mana value 1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. So decent, solid. All right. My comments are fighting, which is always awesome in a fun way, though. So, all right, let's go. Trelasarra, the deck. Let's see here. Teferi's Protection. That's going to be nice. I'm going to switch out the land as we go. Sakura Tribe-Elder. It's nice because there's land coming into play, but then, or a creature coming into play, triggering life gain, stuff like that. Land. Kodama's Reach is some good old ramp. Land. Shalai is perfect for protection. Approach of the Second Sun is pretty sweet here too, because you gain 7 life when you cast it. If it's the second time you've cast it, you win the game. But with Trelasarra, you're able to dig fairly quickly down to the bottom of that and get it on your next turn, or 2. So it's pretty cool. So approach is a pretty cool win con in here. Land, animation module. Counters are always being put on Trelasarra. If you have a Soul Sister in play, you can just go gain a life, pay 1 with the counter, make another guy, gains you another life, makes another counter, pay 1. You can just cycle through for as much mana as you have. So it's pretty sweet. Soul's Attendant, gain a life whenever a creature enters the battlefield. It's pretty sweet. Johnny, Strength of the Pride. You're basically paying this for the 0. Exile it, all creatures, and all artifacts, and it's a game winner for you in this deck. Authority of the Councils, gaining life whenever opponents have creatures come into play, and they come into play tapped. So Vala is a way to draw cards once you scry into something that you like, gives you a little bit more mana. It's a pretty sweet card. Land, I always suggest Ancient Tomb for any two color decks or one. It's great. Prosperous Innkeeper, same thing. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain one life, creates a treasure token, does well in the deck, I think. Land. Let's see here. Let's go through. Rampant Growth is just some ramp. Aura Shards is dealing with everybody's artifacts and enchantments. You're a life game deck. You don't have a lot of on theme ways of dealing with artifact and enchantment control. So this just ends up having to go in there. And I'm sorry to anybody playing Brea. Right, Renshai? Uh, with it being so close to SmithCon, do you think we actually going to help you build something good? LOL. That's what she said. Yep. Okay. So they're starting to turn on me in the comments as well. So you're right. I understand that. Um, and I'm glad that you have enough confidence in you guys' selves that you think you actually helped me. That sounded fucking mean. All right, I'm sorry. Um, Sudden Droplet, gaining me life every upkeep whenever somebody's dealing me damage. Angel of Destiny is going to win me the games if I have 15 or more life. It's pretty sweet. I already apologized. All right. Life Gift, whenever land comes into play, you gain a life. A lot of land comes into play, you're going to be gaining a lot of life. Wall of Blossoms is a draw card. Talisman is tap for a life and a manas. We boom. Far Seek is just ramp. Cryptolith Right is just ramp with my creatures. Ariok Champion is a true champion of the people. It is protection from black and red, so it survives all those blasphemous acts that happen, and then you're just gaining life as well. It's a goddamn good card. Who thought that Great Henge would be in here? Because it's awesome in every deck, right? But it gains you life. It comes in cheap because Trelasarra comes in and is huge. So Garuk, Primal Hunter. So this is going to be here, and there's a couple of cards that are here, but basically it's here to draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, which is going to be Trelasarra. You're drawing 8-10 easily by that point. All right, Mr. Parks. I think I bought the Planeswalker deck of him. You tell him it's your channel. Thanks for the support there, Mr. Parks. Lightning Greaves is protection. Shield of the Oversoul is evasion and protection because indestructible +2/+2. It's a boss. I only just I don't put Gaia's Cradle in every green deck. I try and avoid it. It's one of those power cards that I try and avoid, but I only add in if I have to. Like if I feel like it's just the deck is not moving the way I like it. So, I got a list of cards that I do that with, and so anytime you're like, "Hey, why isn't this really good card in there?" That's the reason. So, yeah. All right. Gain a life whenever a creature comes a permanent. It's pretty sweet. Shamanic Revelation. Again, drawing 8-9 cards off this, also potentially gaining life as well. It's pretty nice. Blossoming Bog is on theme. Whenever it attacks, you gain 2 life, and then creatures you control gain trample and get +2 or +X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. And so essentially, no matter what, it's 2. You scry 1, put a counter on Trelasarra, and if you've gained more life this turn, it's just bigger. So it's pretty cool that way. All right. Essence Warden, same thing. Gain life whenever a creature comes into play. Land, Well of Lost Dreams. When you gain life, you pay mana and draw that many cards. Cultivate is ramp. Swiftfoot Boots is there for protection. Wall of Omens is to draw a card. Sensei's Top for everything. Famish Paladin is actually an infinite life gain combo. I'll pull that off to the side just so I can point it out. Scavenging Ooze is there for the gaining life. It can get bigger, so it's kind of cool that way. Sarah Ascendant is just a badass. It's a proxy. We play with proxies. I forgot about that, you know. But this is not one that Adam made. He should maybe make it. But This is one card that I only put in a life gain deck because it's really good in a fair meta. You know, it's a 6/6 for 1 flying lifelink. It's pretty good. So, no, he isn't playing red, so he can't cast the Keldon Warlord. Ye ah, alright. Unflinching Courage, +2/+2, trample and lifelink. Oftentimes put that on Trelasarra, makes the most sense. Or a mutation, deals with enchantments, gets you a bunch of tokens. Aetherflux Reservoir is just to blast people because you're gaining a ton of life. You should be able to do all right. Return of the Wild Speaker is there just to draw cards for the greatest power. Again, drawing a ton of cards that way. Overwhelming Stampede is going to make everything the size of Trelasarra. It's a good card in here. Uh, Armadillo Cloak is trample, lifelink, and +2/+2. Solid on Trelasarra as well. Investigator's Journal is here from some draw. I must apparently be struggling with my draw. But this you could pay 2 to remove a counter from it, drawing cards. Because it's incremental. And so I can scry into something, pay the 2 to draw if I like something, and then keep scrying as things go forward. So um because sometimes what happens with the scrying, you can scry a whole ton, but then just get stuck on one, and you're just kind of like you lost a lot of scry triggers. But with this in here or other cards, you're able to pick that one up and then continue scrying. So I think I like this card quite a bit. Cleric class, if you would gain a life, you gain that much +1 instead. And then whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. And then whenever class becomes level 3, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You gain life equal to its toughness. So really, it's just the first two that are going on here. You're going to have plenty of triggers there, and it should work. Accomplished Alchemist. I'll set that out, and we can change that pretty quick. Resplendent Mentor. Okay, I'll talk about that after this pile's done. Generous Gift is easy removal, and creating a creature is actually nice. Same thing with Beast Within, because it triggers a bunch of the Soul Sister cards. Shadow Spear, Trample, Lifelink +1/+1, and the lifelink is huge. All right, so these two here, Famish Paladin is 3/3. It doesn't untap during your untap step, and whenever you gain life, untap Famish Paladin. And then with Resplendent Mentor, it's 5 mana, 2/2. White creatures you control have tap, gain 1 life. So with these two in play, you tap it, you gain a life, it untaps, you scry, all that, whatever triggers you got going on, and you can just do it forever. Um, it doesn't win you the game unless you have that artifact we just went over, that good one, Reservoir. You know, so that's one way that you could win in there. Um, I think I've only been able to do this once goldfishing, but it's cool. It's cool, right? Um, Beast Whisperer is just drawing cards. Land. Druid class is allowing me to, whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life, so it triggers Trelasarra, and then it allows you to play more lands. It's a pretty sweet card. Ranger Captain of Eos is kind of like when it ETBs, search for a Soul Sister, and then you can sacrifice it, and your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. So works that way. Thought Vessel. You saw some of those draw spells where I can be drawing 8, 10 cards. It's good to be able to just keep all of those cards in hand, right? So Thought Vessel, Reliquary Tower in this deck. Suture Priest, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life, and under their control, they lose a life. So cool card there. Ordeal of Nylea is the best ramp card in here because basically Trelasarra is going to have 3 counters on it. You attack with it, put another counter, sacrifice it right away, putting 2 lands into play tapped. It's a pretty cool card. Rishkar's Expertise, draw a ton of cards, play something for free. It's awesome. Pest Infestation deals with a lot of artifacts and enchantments, destroying those things and creating a lot of tokens to trigger a lot of Soul Sisters. It's pretty sweet. Land. Winds of Abandon is just a fantastic board wipe against your opponents, and then you're just able to swing in free. Soul Ring. Wall of Reverence gains you life equal to the power of target creature you control, which is Trelasarra, which is huge. And so it all feeds into itself, right? Lane. 2 cards left. Heroic Intervention, just gotta be if Trelasarra goes, the deck isn't very good. Guardian Project is whenever a creature comes into play, you gotta draw a card. Kind of like Beast Whisperer. The nice thing is you can scry, then draw, find what you want, or draw, and then scry into the next card. You get to stack how those things work. So they're both pretty cool here. The deck runs pretty well. Um, I've been happy with it. I just want to try new cards. I want to see how that goes. But you kind of see how everything is kind of working with it. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So we have a stack of cards. And we will see if it goes all right. Let's see what'll work. I think this is we'll keep Faceless Haven out for now, but just get the deeds in. I'll mess around. Nobody likes to see people putzing around with their mana base. I will admit that firsthand. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. If you're not watching this live, I highly suggest watching this in 1.5 speed. You get to go through it a lot quicker, still hear the stuff, can still see the stuff, because there's a lot of thinking, there's pauses and stuff like that. So I wouldn't worry about that. Other thing is, if you're enjoying it, give it a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. All right. So maybe we should organize this thought a little bit. What do I really, really like out of this? So out of the new ones, um, did I fucking miss it? There it is. Rumor Gather, I really like it. I like the idea of Voice of the Blessed, but I did get rid of like Ajani's Pride Mate, but this kind of protects itself a little bit too. So it might be worth it. Um, that's there for the life gain, removal, kind of another win con, life gain. I'm not sure how much I really like. I don't think fight rigging's good enough for what's going on here. Um, it would be kind of cool to like cast the second, Rise of the Second Sun, and then scry down a couple, then cost fight rigging, hideaway 5 it, and then by the end of combat win the game. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't think that's worth it. I mean, it's just kind of a free card and then handing out counters. I think I'd probably rather play this in a counter forward deck. Yeah. And then I'm gonna try and fit in Nykthos Paragon. So whatever, right? What's going on? This is life gain. A lot of life gain here after that. Okay. This has always been slow, but it's very flavorful, so we're gonna stick with that. I was gonna build my modern deck of Terror, but then I saw that you are live, trying to stop me from being productive. Yes, yes, I'm trying to be productive, and then I appreciate you being there. There's no ill will towards your productivity. You can maybe even do your decks as well. Just run the stuff. All right. Guardian Project, I think is pretty solid. Heroic Intervention, because I don't have anything to kind of replace it with. All right. Wall of Reverence, I think could be cut. That's something that we could check out. Soul Ring, Winds of Abandon, Pest Infestation. I mean, I love the card, so I'm going to keep it in. Rishkar's Expertise, Ordeal. This might be a hard deck to cut down because it feels tight. Tickety tight. It's been nice. Because this is kind of, I don't want to get rid of, I want an extra one. So Famish Paladin might go away for book of the Exalted because it's a different type of win con a little bit. Like instead of going infinite mana, making Trelasarra infinitely big, it's just I can't lose. And this is the deck that I would do that in. And I mean, I guess I do it in both, right? Fuck. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white, and then you can just exile. I mean that because this is a dead card otherwise to a degree. Like it's just a 3/3. Not saying that it can't untap. It's just I don't care if it untaps other than Resplendent Mentor. Yeah. Okay. I think that can be cut. Resplendent Mentor is really nice in here because it turns those Soul Sisters into even more life gain. Now, is it worth it for 5 mana? Maybe not. Shadow Sphere might make sense. Gift, Cleric class. I mean, I like Investigative Journal as well. Armadillo Cloak works. This goes over the top. Tons of draw. Reservoir. People like it just doesn't matter, right? All right. I'm taking out this combo. I'm going to keep in Reservoir just cuz. Aura Mutation. That's enchantment. Unflinching Courage. I'm all right with that. Sarah Ascendant. It's the only deck I have it in. Let's see here. I usually goldfish and do some tinkering with my decks when you do these videos. Yeah, I appreciate you just kind of doing it with me. It's a feel good moment, right, Renshai? I appreciate you. Scavenging Ooze has been really nice. It can be okay. Like it's just the only graveyard hate in the deck. It does gain me life potentially. Let's see. Top Wall of Omens. I think that could be on the chopping block. It's nice as a blocker. And it's nice as a drawing card thing, but I don't along with Wall of Blossom, I don't know if they're worth it. Boots, Cultivate, Well, Essence Warden, Blooming, Shamanic Revelation, Beast Within, Soul Warden, Shield, Greaves, Garrick, Henge, Champion, Cryptolith Right, Farseek. Yeah, I liked all those. Talisman makes sense. Wall of Blossoms, we can see if we can cut that. Life Gift gains you a ton of life. Angel of Destiny makes sense in here. Sun Droplet, always just triggering. Aura Shards, because it is a pain in the ass. It might be something that like Austere Command turns into. Rampant Growth, Prosperous Innkeeper. It's a little weak. So I'm willing to see if there's something better. So Vala has been nice. Willing to keep that. Authority of the Council is nice. Ajani's crazy. Soul Warden Animation Module. Approach. Shalai. Konama's Reach. Sakura. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we have a handful of cards we're willing to look at on the cut. The Primordial Hydra, Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, Doubling Season, and 3 visits. What payoffs would sound good enough to play with this? I was thinking 4 copies of Mirror Box 2 and game needed. I mean, you got some powerful cards there already, man. All right. Aura Shards potentially there with Austere Command. I think Wall of Omens and Wall of Blossoms might be able to turn into Mentor of the Meek and Rumor Gatherer. I mean, this is like even more scrying, but you do get 1 draw off of it multiple times. And then same thing with Mentor of the Meek. And then those are just the 1 shots, but they can block all day, you know? So that's kind of the trade-off. And 3 mana and 2 mana, that's something as well. I have like just the one, but they're at least similar. So I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, let's take it. Let's try and reduce, reuse, recycle. All right. Scavenging ooze. I mm, mm, mm. Prosperous innkeeper. I think I'll gain a lot more life off of the paradise plume, but like 4 mana, kind of expensive. I don't know if I like that. All right, how about I think Corsair of Crufix is really solid. I love it in here, other than the scrying. Like people are always going to see what I have, and that's a major downfall. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Book of Exalted Deeds. I almost want to force that in there. Let's turn that into the wall of reference. Just like another payoff. Again, I don't hate these, but I don't love them. Let's see here. This is like another attacking thing. This is going tall. This is going wide. I think this is probably too narrow. Just gaining 1 life and or it doesn't trigger a bunch and it's only bringing back one thing. I think it's just a little slow. I think we can cut that. Jetty Offshoot as an 03 landfall gain a life. I think we can get rid of Paradise Plume. I think it's just too expensive for what it does. I'm all right getting rid of that. And what I these might not be good enough either. Like just once per upkeep, it can block for days, but again, it's not doing a lot. This is only giving me 1 or 2 per turn as well. Probably not good enough. Chalice of Life. So the reason why I'm thinking Chalice of Life is solid, because what it does is just target player losing 5 life when it flips is a way to have somebody lose the game if I'm not able to attack them. And it's always nice to have that like 1 to 2 pieces that can do that in a deck if you're, you know, built like it's a combat damage deck. So if I can't attack somebody, I'm in a lot of trouble. Um, that's one thing that I'm really considering. Um, Scavenging, Prosperous Innkeeper, Resplendent Mentor. I like Scavenging Ooze. I think I'm going to keep that in here. It's a little mana intensive, but the deck's really low to the ground, so sometimes just having something you can dump mana into is really nice. I think I'm okay moving those. Prosperous Innkeeper. So I could potentially go something like this and that. Create a tapped treasure token. You gain 2 life or put a 1/1 counter. Maybe Gallic Readers just isn't good. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield on its rolling, you got 3 stuff. 3 things going on. Yeah, we can probably cut that. I think we have at least a little bit of a chance. This just seems like a reach. Anybody try and play with Chalice of Life? All right. So let's go a little tall here. It gains a protection. I think that's probably worth it. And then 6 mana to 5 mana. This goes wide, goes a lot quicker. So I'm at least all right with that. I like that little bit of ramp. I like the consistent life gain. This is just that little bit of a reach, but maybe the worry isn't real. Maybe I have enough. Maybe I have enough removal. Am I? I'm talking about taking out aura shards over command. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 4 or greater. There's only like 2 or 3 in here, so I'm not going to hit a lot of mine for the creatures, and then I can always hit artifacts or enchantments, which would hit me, and that's why I always hate austere command. And all right, I disagree with that decision now. Aura shards just is going to allow me to control the game a lot more. It's hard to step down when you've tasted the power of aura shards, right? Let's take another look at this, right? I think I'm hoping that I can find enough removal because the scrying allows you to just dig. It's pretty nice. You're not getting a lot of cards, but it just allows you to dig. Let's cut Chalice of Life. Let's keep Prosperous Innkeeper, and then let's see if we can go a little wide with some of this stuff. Resplendent Mentor, we can take that out. And we can put Nykthos Paragon in. So we're putting a bunch of counters on our creatures. They can get huge that way and hard to deal with. All right. Voice of the Blessed is just another creature that can go tall, but also protects itself in the end. I don't know if it'll ever get up to 10 counters on it, but it could. Like Trelasarra definitely has. And it just can keep on getting bigger. I'm down with that. Wall of Reference is solid, but it's just a one-time trigger. It can gain you a ton of life. But Book of Exalted Deeds, I think that'll be a sweet add. And then this is the only kind of life gain-ish deck that could support this. All right. And we'll do Wall of Blossoms out for a Rumor Gatherer in. And then we can Mentor the Meek in, Wall of Omens out. And this should allow me to keep up a little bit. There's that Welcoming Vampire, but I think that's going into Hinata a little bit. All right, let's see that curve. Let's see how it does. 3, 3, 3, 2, 6. 2, 3, 2, 2, 5. And Renshai is there laughing. He's like, this deck, are you kidding me? You think this is going to do anything? And you're probably right. Probably right. So I wouldn't pay attention to me at all next week. Not at all. I'm going to lose every game. I'm never going to win. All right? So don't worry about me. I don't think it worked. So just looking to see if the deck is kind of front forward. That's kind of how I like my decks. I like to be able to play multiple spells in a turn and have a couple of cards that'll go over the top if possible. And so it's just an eyeing up. I don't have any way to look at it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a decent amount. There's a lot in the 2s, which is good. A lot in the 3s, that makes me happy. 4 kind of ramps down. 5 spot, it gets a little thick, but I don't hate any of these. Like, it doesn't feel like it's fat and not needed. Winds of Abandon. Yep, don't hate any of that. That looks good to me. I'll probably just look at the what is it doing side of it, and then we can make sure that everything's kind of working. All right. Gain life, gain life, gain life. That's kind of going tall. Um, uh, ramp, and this is kind of protection ish. Gain life, draw, gain life. That'll be ramp, protection. It's kind of going tall. Ramp, gain life. Removal. All right. We'll consider that ramp. That's going tall. Removal, protection. And we'll probably put that in the draw spot. I'm looking pretty thin on draw, other than it's just you get huge amounts. This is technically draw, removal, boop, boop, protection. We'll consider that protection. Draw, 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 protection, draw, boop. Game ender. There for draw, draw. Doop. It's kind of nice. There's some nice game enders in here. Consider that for draw. That's kind of a game ender. And removal. Right. The only things that I really care about is just the ramp and draw package. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A little thin, but we'll see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's like bare minimum. There's a lot in the life gain package, and hopefully, Trelasarra scrying allows me to at least look at more cards, not necessarily get more cards in the hand. And I like these. These and the trample life link on Trelasarra has been really, really powerful. Even though it's only one trigger, um, you just gain a ton of life. So I'm done with that. And then also like Book of Exile to Deeds is also another payoff. Like it creates creatures, and I should be able to get there decently easy once I get in the mid game. We go over the top with some of this. Voice of the Blessed feels like I don't need it. Like it's just Trelasarra 2.0, and maybe I just want another support card. Go back over what I took out. Let's see. Like that all looks good to me. All right, let's see. Hmm. Um, give me a second. I might try and find. All right. I'm not a threat. I told you I'm not a threat. Shy. All right. Let me see if I can find something here. I was thinking Augur of Autumn might be something that's good in here. I have it. Easily accessible. It might just be in a bunch of other decks to move some stuff around. I'll probably have that. I think I'd probably rather have that than that. I don't know if I have it available. I only have like 3, and I know I used one last night. Hmm. Pathbreaker Ibex might be a nice little win con in here. And so I think I'd like that better. If that makes sense. Even though it fits really well in here. Put a 1/1 counter on it. As long as it has 4 more counters, it has flying and vigilance. As long as Voice of the Blessed has 10 or more 1/1 counters on it, it has indestructible. Let's see if it works. I don't need an Ibex in there. I couldn't find the Augur of Autumn. It's probably in some other potential decks. We'll go through those soon enough. All right. I think I'm happy with that. I got to go through and switch out the snow basics so that I can get Faceless Haven in there along with Mutavault. I should probably grab the Mutavault as well. I don't think I have. Just to give you a look at the land base a little bit. Actually, let's do this with a purpose. Let's switch some of these out. You can see kind of what's going on in there. There we go. All right. Those will get switched out. That'll get put in. Same thing with Mutavault. I think I'm done with that. All right. 45 minutes. That is going to be a lot more work. So I hope. No, I don't want to use Craterhoof. But you might be right. But I don't want to. All right. Trelasarra is good. We're good to go. It has enough win cons, I think. It has like 4 or 5 big hitters. All right. Hinata. So fundamentally, the deck struggles. I think it has too much kind of going on, and it's a really good card still. But what I did is initially I just went with like phasing or blinking or tapping, and I didn't destroy anybody's creatures. There isn't enough of that to actually like continually be able to do that either. So you just run out of resources, you never really move forward, and you haven't done a whole ton of damage. So I got to make the deck a little bit meaner. And I decided it also has heroic stuff in it, and that just isn't working. It does nothing until I'm attacking, and it doesn't attack until later, and so it's just it doesn't flow well with the deck. If that makes any sense there. Um, there. All right. So Hinata Dawn Crowned, one, a blue, a red, and a white. It's a 4/4 Cure and Spirit, Flying Trample. Spells you cast cost one less to cast for each target, and spells your opponents control. Opponents cast cost one more to cast for each target. So it slows them down for auras, or if they want to target your stuff. And it makes it super easy for you to play X spells that targets a bunch. So um, it's an awesome card, and let's see if we can kind of get it to work a little bit better this time. So let's see here. All right. Deep and now there's a lot of cards. All right, we're doing a fundamental change in the deck. So deep analysis, it's target player draws 2 cards, it has flashback, so just maybe some consistent stuff. I was talking about having like big butts and or a wall theme. So Pramicon was in here. I think you're dragging me down from the Discord suggested this. I kind of blew it off because I didn't think it would fit really well, but it probably shaped the way that I'm thinking of the deck now. Because this way, I'm able to just attack one player and not worry about the rest necessarily. Um, and so it kind of, I think it controls things nicely. I can focus my damage dealing on the person to the right, and I can attack the person to the left, and not worried about the person in the middle. Um, I think it could be really cool in here. Um, Soul Sworn Jury, 1/4 defender. You can pay a blue colorless, sacrifice it, counter target creature spell. So it's counter spell. Wall of Denial, 08 Flying Defender Shroud. Vent Sentinel, 2/4 defender, pay 2, tap it, deals damage to target player equal to the number of creatures with defender you control. So maybe a little extra oomph there. We'll see. Rage Nimbus, target attacking creature this turn if able, has defender flying. Kind of cool. Chandra's Ignition, thinking that Hinata might be able to get kind of big here. And the defenders might be able to survive it, but we'll see. Already did Wall of Denial, so that's easy. Eerie Interlude blinks, so gonna be able to blink everything for white, or just white. It's pretty sweet. Birth of Meletus. Search your library for a basic planes card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. And then next turn, create an 0/4 wall. Then you gain 2 life and it goes away. Nice little saga. Does a little bit of everything. You know, gets you a land, gets you a blocker. Gaining 2 life is negligible, but Curse of the Swine. Is Alex here? Is Alex here? He was just complaining about that, but we're fitting this in. So, because it's blue, turn everything into a boar. Paradoxical Outcome is blue. Return all of any number of non-land permanents I control and draw a card for all of it. Um, it'll work. Displace is blinking 2 things for blue. Ghostly Flicker is blinking 2 creatures for blue. Delay is counter target spell for a couple. Like, I didn't go for hard counters. I went for basically counter spells that would turn into 1 blue. So delay creates a suspend on that spell. Negate is counter target non-creature spell. Memory Lapse is counter the spell, put it on top of its owner's library. Reality Shift is exile for 1 blue. Arcane Denial is counter. You draw, they draw for a blue. Volcanic Wind deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the number of creatures in play. And so it's red, destroy a ton of creatures. Comet Storm is free multi kicker. It should be sweet. Soulfire Eruption. It's going to be red, sorcery. Choose any number of target creatures. So you're aiming for 6 or more, and or players. For each of them, exile the top card of your library. Then Soulfire Eruption deals damage equal to the card's converted mana cost to that permanent or player. You may play the exiled cards until end of your next turn. So it's drawing you cards, it's dealing a bunch of damage, and it's cheap in a Hinata deck. It's pretty sweet. Descent of the Dragon is turning all of my walls into dragons for red. Should be cool. Seize the Day is just target creature Hinata being able to attack multiple times for 3 and then 2. Blood Mist is giving Hinata double strike when it attacks alone, because everything just gets put on Hinata, which is something that I want. Psychotic Fury is instant, so red, double strike, draw a card. Dusk Corona is +2/+0 and basically unblockable on Hinata. Serene Master is one of those cool, whenever it blocks, exchange the power of target creature's blocking until end of turn. So it becomes an O whatever, and this becomes uh big power 2. So kind of cool there. Shape Stealer. Whenever Shape Stealer blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, change Shape Stealer's power and toughness to the creature's power and toughness until end of turn. I was just thinking, kind of cool concept there. Psychic Membrane is 03. Whenever it blocks, you may draw a card. Guard Gomazoa, 1/3, flying defender, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it. Sailor of Means is just a 1/4 ETB, gain a treasure. Wall of Tears, 04. Whenever it blocks any creature, return each of those creatures to its owner's hand at end of combat. Spell Skite is fantastic. Tamio, the Moon Sage. This might have been part of the old idea because I was trying to tap stuff down, then I can draw a bunch of cards off of it. I think I'm just going to I'm going to cut that right now. Seal of Godhead gives Hinata +2/+2 unblockable lifelink for a blue or a white. It's going to be crazy in here. Here's the big thing that I want to be doing. So, and I like this, and I had this in my old Rafik deck that I never talked about on the cast at all, but Angelic Exultation. White enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, which would be Hinata, it gets plus X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Um, and so I think that can make Hinata really big, a big, nice threat. Same thing with Sublime or Archangel gives all of your creatures exalted. And so it just builds into Hinata being awesome. Sigil of Valor is an equipment that's doing the same thing. So there's only three things here. And maybe I was just thinking tonight, I haven't pulled them, but maybe I can find some cards that give Hinata like plus X for the amount of creatures that I have in general. I think there's a bestow creature that I could maybe grab in white that's doing that kind of thing. But if you think of anything, write it in the comments, and that could be really helpful. Just like a quick switch in. Wheel of Misfortune is just allowing me to draw a bunch of cards. Wave of Indifference. I saw this in one of Travis's lists. X target creatures can't block this turn. Again, this might be from the earlier idea. It doesn't matter. Hanada should be getting big, and it has trample. So even if it does get blocked, hopefully it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna doesn't draw me a card. I'm gonna get rid of it. Rain of Riches. I must be thinking that I'm gonna be making treasures. When Rain of Riches enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. Oh, this is a little treasure token forward. So, the first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure was spent to cast it has Cascade. Um, so could be cool. We can pick these up a little bit. Weathered Sentinels, 2/5 Defender Vigilance, reach trample. When Weathered Sentinels can attack players who attacked you during their last turn as though it didn't have Defender. When it attacks, it gets +3/+3 and gains indestructible until end of turn. So it turns into a 5/8 indestructible vigilance reach trample for 3. Should be cool. Change of plans. Uh, each of X target creatures you control connive. You may have any number of them phase out. So it's blue X and phasing them out, essentially, and conniving, kind of. Rapacious 1 is 5/4 trample. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put that many O1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens into the battlefield, and they can be sacrificed for 1 mana. So this is kind of like maybe if Hanada's being struggling on getting out, but you know, you put a lot into Rapacious one, and then you get a bunch of tokens. Could be fun. Could be fun. Kazul is whenever you're attacked, they got to pay 3 or else it's an ogre for each creature. It's a crazy card. Just crazy. Smoldering Egg. Oh 04, you're going to be able to basically flip this right away. And then whenever you're casting an instant or sorcery spell, it's dealing 2 damage. Could kind of work. Aether Membrane. Oh 05, whenever it blocks, return that creature to its owner's hand at end of combat. Thermal Alchemist is O3 Defender. Tap it to deal 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, untap it. So a little bit of reach. Palace Jailer. I think I'm going to get rid of the Monarch already. Wall of Reference 1/6. I already talked about in that last one. Here for the Monarch. Let's get rid of that. Wall of Nets Oh 07. At end of combat, remove from the game all creatures blocked by Wall of Nets. If Wall of Nets leaves play, return that to play under its owner's control. All creatures removed from the game with Wall of Nets. So right there, Bygone Bishop is whenever you cast a creature spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, which is most of the walls here. You investigate, which is allows you to draw cards. Welcoming Vampire is going to trigger once per turn for each wall you cast. Flumph is an O4 flying defender. Whenever it deals is dealt damage, you and target opponent each draw a card. Might be worth it. Stalwart Shield Bearers O3. Other creatures you control with Defender get +0/+2. Cathedral Membrane O3. Defender, whenever it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield during combat, it deals 6 damage to each creature that it blocked this turn. Standard Bearer. It's a 1/1. If an opponent plays a spell or ability that could target a flag bearer in play, that player chooses at least one flag bearer as a target. Um, I think it's a cool card, but I don't think it works here. Perimeter Captain. Oh, 4 defender. Whenever a creature you control with defender blocks, you may gain 2 life. Wall of Mourning. Oh, 4 defender. When it ETBs, exile a card from the top of your library face down for each opponent you control. And then at the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, put a card exiled with Wall of Mourning into its owner's hand. Got a lot of walls, so it might not have a variety of powers. But Sunscape Familiar reduces blue spells by 1, and it's a 03 defender. And then Wall of Omens, ET04 ETB, draw a card. So you just saw a lot right there. We're gonna try and um change the deck. This will be some work probably. So we'll go through Hinata, what I have right now, a bit. Pretty lands. Snapcaster Mage is nice. Let's flashback on cards in the graveyard. Orvar. I was targeting my own stuff as well because I didn't have anything killing it. Um, that might has a chance at getting cut. Hero of the Games has heroic. We will be cutting that. Um, let's see here. Talisman is ramp. Reality Spasm is tapping, untapping, which works. Battlefield Thaumaturge is a replacement Hinata. Land. Let's go through and just cut the lands real quick. So the deck is fun, but the heroic is a little messed up. So it just doesn't work, right? All right. Chroma's Will. I don't think that works here anymore either, because this was like there to just double strike all of those heroic cards and just have a big swing in. And right now, all I care about is Hinata at this point. Leonin Light Scribe, Magecraft, all my creatures get +1/+1. That was kind of the deal that I was doing with the heroic. Feather might be still good enough to be in here, because if you target one of your own creatures, like if you destroy them or whatever, you get that card back. Heliod's Intervention is free to destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Propaganda probably doesn't matter anymore because I'm going to have a lot of big fat blockers. Verity Circle might still keep in, but whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes tapped, you get to draw a card. Call the Copper Coats is to create a bunch of tokens. And again, that was just to go wide with Heroic, and I don't know if that's necessary now. Ghostly Prison, same thing with Propaganda. Talisman, Arcane for ramp. Mystic Confluences, blue, do a lot of stuff. We'll keep that in. Open into Wonder. I don't know if that's worth it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Until end of turn, those creatures gain when this creature deals combat. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if that works. Dockside obviously makes it. Discord of the Cart makes sense. Soul Ring for ramp. Release the Gremlins. Creates a bunch of tokens and destroys artifacts. It's nice. Esper Sentinel is a good card. All right. Get rid of these lands. And so, yeah, I mean, we will see. I'm liking that there's enough cuts at least at this point. All right. Mavinda is pretty cool because of the X spells, so you can replay a spell, and that should work. So Heroic goes away. Keeper of the Cord, that might be still good, like just generically good getting lands. March of Swirling Mist, creatures will phase out. By force is 1 red, destroy everybody's artifacts. Magma Opus is also pretty cheap to have a lot happen. Goldspan Dragon might not be as good now because I'm not targeting my stuff nearly as much. Bauble, I put that in every non-green deck. Sapphire, Thunder Conductor, can create a token, can deal some random ass damage. Scries, it's probably still worth it. Storm Chaser Drake, Whenever this is kind of a heroic draw a card, that's not going to work anymore. Sublime Epiphany definitely works because for blue, you can counter a spell, counter activated or triggered ability, return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, and target player draws a card. Like they're all targeting. So it's just blue, do a bunch of stuff. It's awesome. Theft of Dreams, for each tapped creature target opponent controls, draw a card. Um, we'll see if the tapped cards stay in, but I can see this drawing me a bunch of cards. Greaves, top. Will Breaker is stealing everybody's creatures. It might not be as worthwhile now that I'm willing to destroy them. Heroic. All right. Last bit. And I wonder if treasures could be a theme, like go heavier into it, or maybe not. Uh, maybe not. We will see. Lots of change in here. Okay. Smothering Tithe. I mean, makes sense. I could probably wheel a little bit more just to make that worth it. Solemn, cool with that. Distortion Wake, yeah. Reconnaissance Mission probably doesn't work because I'm not going wide anymore. It's probably better if I put like a Curiosity or a Curious Obsession on there. That might be a chance if I'm low on drawing, so I can check that out. Ornithopter of Paradise still makes sense to me. Flying, draw. This is tapping. Glimpse of the Sun God. Chart of Course is draw 2 cards, discard a card unless you attack. So this might be all right still. Trident Hero is heroic. Ponder is drawing. Storm Kiln Artist. Treasures. Heroic 1/1 counters. Launch the Fleet is a go card, and that's just not going to be this deck anymore. But it's for Hinata because it makes a lot of attacking creatures. Maybe this is something that I could try and refine? Maybe. All right, Swiftfoot Boots makes sense to me. Heroic, +1/+0. Whirlwind of Thought is cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. Metallic, Metallurgic Summonings. I'm getting creatures that are the size of the X spells, so pretty cool there. I'm willing to do that. Preordain, draw a spell. Jessica's Wheel will. I'm actually going to cut this. So I played it, and I think the problem ends up being is it's a 3-color deck. And last time I did it, I just tapped wrong, but it still felt really bad. Like I remember it. Like I lost 3 really good white cards in here, like Esper Sentinel, maybe a land that I really needed, and something else. And I was just like, all I had was red mana, and I couldn't do anything with it. It's like, well, that kind of sucked. Rayleigh's Fury is really good. Heroic +1s. Meant for draw. Gridlock for tapping. So you get my dilemma there for that. There is so lots of X spells which are sweet. And then so we have an easy cutting session of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's not as many as these cards, but we can still try and switch stuff up. All right, we can cut those. All right. Let's get rid of these and just try and cut the cards that we know we want to get rid of. And then we can try messing around with the cards that we like so far. All right. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 3s. 4, 3. And then let's just see where this is gonna take us. 2. 2, 5, 6. There we go. 3, 5. I don't think I have enough treasures. So we'll cut Rain and Riches. Wheel of Fortune still is there. 2, 4, 4, 3. 2s. 6. That's over the tops. I don't think the blinking is really necessary at this point, but Paradoxical Outcome might not be a bad play. 2, 3, 3, 4, 3. All right. I don't have anything at the top, but so Dust Corona making Hinata basically unblockable is pretty nice. But so is Steel of the Head Godhead. I probably don't disagree with either of those. So let's go get rid of Launch the Fleet. Let's make sure that we're going a little, Voltronish here. Make sure that Hinata is a little bit of a threat. So we'll add that in there. That's still there, but we'll try and do like CMC similarities. Let's back these out a little bit at this point. There we go. Still got a bunch. Shit. All right. Let's see here. Try and fit that in at the bottom. I probably don't like Cathedral Membrane. We can cut that. Stalwart Shield Bearers probably isn't necessary because not everything's going to have Defender. 2, 3, 4. 4 cards to choose from here. Okay. What do we do here? Let's pick our 4 favorite. Let's go. Like I think Spellskite Prowl, that's 1. Go in. Sigil of Valor is like pivotal to like closing out a game quick-ish. 2. 3, 4. These can just block for days. Doesn't matter how big, how small, whatever. Zay will win. Okay. I'm all right with that. I'm already switching stuff. Okay. Let's get rid of the Storm Tracer Drake. Just being able to block for days and just try and keep on setting up Hinata. Probably, is anybody going to really wrath a board of just a bunch of blockers? Maybe. Maybe they're a bunch of dickheads. I don't know. Ooh, what promo card is that? Are we looking at this one, the Fireball one? Is that the one you're talking about, or is like everything that I got just showing up a little bit late? So this is negate. This is reality shift. And it might have been a little late there too. I kind of missed when you wrote that. Yes, that one. Yeah, so that's negate full art. It was on the list. So it just got a little bit cheaper. It was like a $6, $7 card. I think it's like 4, 5-ish, but it might have gone up again already. So it's not a card that I use a ton. So I figured if I was going to use it, might as well get a pimp version of it. All right, we will come back to these. I probably don't like Sunscape Familiar. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I like Smoldering Egg. I think we can get rid of the Birth of Meletus. I don't think that's needed. I like the Delay. I like the Negate. I like the Arcane Denial. I probably don't care about Reality Shift. We can get rid of that. I like Memory Lapse. That's 4 counter spells that I don't normally use. Smoldering Egg makes sense. Thermo, Alchemist, Flump. I'm in blue. I don't need to worry about walls drawing me cards, I don't think, or give me some card advantage. Same thing with Wall of Omens. Psychic Fury, double striking Hinata to draw a card makes sense. And then reducing the cost of blue spells can still make sense at this point. While a Tears Bouncing probably doesn't, though. Yeah, for sure. That full art negate art is fantastic, for sure. It is. And that's Jace. That's Jace blocking fire, probably from Chandra. They don't agree all that. All right, Steel of the Godhead, Amicon, Soulsworn Jury, Wall of Denial, Rage, Nimbus. Target creature attacks this turn if able. Do I care about that part? Nah, let's cut that. Eerie Interlude. I'm going to be cutting Flicker and Displace right away. I don't think I have the creatures to be able to do it. Psychic Membrane. Blocking to draw cards is nice. Guard Gomazoa. Do you know what I don't have in here? Fogbank. And I wasn't able to find that in my... If this makes it, the other will make it. Sailor Means probably doesn't need to be in here. Wheel of Misfortune does. Weathered Sentinels is pretty good. Aether Membrane might be nice because it can block creatures with flying. Wall of Nets is a nice way to exile stuff. Bygone Bishop draws me cards. Welcoming Vampires. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's probably my biggest chunk that'll still work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Questionable. All right. So what do I think is most important? I think Steel of the Hellkite, Pramicon, Wall of Denial, Eerie Interlude makes sense. I really like these Weathered Sentinels. Wheel of Misfortune, I'm okay with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 more to be able to choose from. Let's see here. Probably Welcoming Vampire and then Bygone Bishop? Question mark. Both 2/3 flyers that randomly draw me cards. Psychic Membrane might not be bad. I probably just want cards that are maybe creatures that can just block for days. And then I can see at the end what my drawing capabilities are at and be able to like switch those around a little bit for what's in there. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go with the Soulsworn Jury. Just counter target creature spell. I'm kind of able to deal with a lot of creatures. These are probably on theme draw. So let's go with the Wall of Nets. Cut these for now. These will probably get switched in a little bit later. I avoid counterspells. Well, I do too. Yeah, that's okay. Wrench, I know you're not a fan of counterspells saying this to me, but I think they are needed to protect Hinata. I kind of agree there. I avoid counterspells. I'm still planning on getting a full playset of Vampiric Tutor though. One never knows. I mean, you might get into that kind of thing. So, getting rid of some of these cards here. I think I want to really work on getting the counter spells in there for the protection. But there are some X spells that like will blink or phase out. So those also kind of work. That's kind of why, Eerie Interlude is there. So there is some protection stuff. So we will see if the counter spells are absolutely needed. So that's just a thought. I don't know if we'll see if wheel is needed. I like the wheel. It lets me see a lot more cards that way. So we'll see. The Empiric Tutor, has that gone up since the Commander Legends at this point? Or has it stayed down? It's probably gone up. Everybody loves that shit. Do 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 do. Let's see here. All right, last card. You have all of the Black Tutors, Mr. Parks? I've been waiting for those ultra mythic reprints. Yeah. I mean, I have the original 5, but I don't have like Imperial Seal or any of that crazy nonsense like that. That's out of my price range for sure. Oh, it's just Vampiric was just reprinted in the list, huh? That ain't bad. That ain't bad. All right, let's see. 3 spots to be taken. I don't think I have enough defender cards at this point. Paradoxical Outcome just kind of fills my hand a little bit. Seize the Day might be something. This and that are absolutely going in, and then there's just kind of one more. All right. Chroma's Will is out. We'll get Sublime Archangel in. All right. So we definitely need those. And maybe hold up. I just was thinking of a better card for that. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end turn. I think we can reduce the cost on that, but let's go Seize the Day a little bit. Reconnaissance mission is out. All right. We want that like Sword and Shield card. I think this just gets cut. That and that. Wall of Reverence, we'll probably cut that. I don't think we need that. All right. Chandra's Ignition makes sense. Kazul, Volcanic Wind, Descent, Rapacious One, Curse of the Swine. Anything I just hate? No, I kind of liked all those. So we got rid of a lot of the cards we wanted to get in, like switching in and out that way. Give me a hot second. let's see if we can. I'll at least let you guys look a little bit too. What do we got going on here? I'm looking for that enchantment that gives double strike each combat. Should have some. I should have some that's somewhere. I think I'd like that better than Bloodlust. It puts a little bit of extra pressure on there and can help out with other places. I don't think I missed it. I just don't see it. There it is. Duelist Heritage. That could be worth it in here. All right. Oh, that ain't bad. Man, it was a fucking Vampiric Tutor being around 40 on TCG. That was a $100 card before that reprint. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That ain't bad at all. Okay. Let's do some of this then. All right. Let's go and look at practicality. I don't know quite where we're at here now. All right. This is going tall. Tall. Pramicon is just blocking. That's protection. Blocking, draw a card. That's kind of removal, protection. Blocking. We might, I might have added in too many cards that just block for days. Maybe not enough. I don't know. Ramp, draw. And we can definitely switch up some of this stuff. That's a mana card. Graveyard. Graveyard. Drawing. Card advantage. Toot. Safai. What do I consider that? Kind of a token maker. We'll consider that one. Ramp. And then Orvar, something, those are technically removal. Gold Span Dragon might not be worth it anymore. I know it's a good card, but protection. And then we got our X spells here. Tap. Bounce. Removal. That's drawing cards. Removal and removal. So we got a couple of things. We have the blocking. Let's see here. Then we can just blocking. This is protections. Blocking with a purpose. Manas. Going tall. Kind of blocking. That's removal. Draw. I could probably get rid of Rapacious One. Removal, and technically protection. All right. Let's see here. I think, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think the only one that feels out of place is probably Goldspan at this point. Probably just isn't needed. It's fat. It's not real. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take out Goldspan, put it in the Sunscape Familiar. Little bit of ramp in here, but also just kind of blocks. It's cheap, and we'll see if that works out. Might not, but can block for days. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Got that bit done. 2, 3, 4. All right. So I don't think Open into Wonder is going to do me a whole ton of work. I don't think I like Whirlwind of Thought. I think I don't. Yeah, I think this goes better. Um, with maybe one of the creatures. Creature spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. All right, that should ish work. All right. Oops. There's iffy. I still like Feather because I can still blow up my whatevers and get stuff back. Verity Circle, it's probably all right, but Theft of Dreams. All right. Esper Sentinel, Sensei's Wheel, Preadorned Ponder. Um, I think we change these out for the 2 creatures. So Theft of Dreams can be Psychic Memory, just to be able to block and like draw cards. And then Chart a Course can be taken out, and Welcoming Vampire can be put in. And then Deep Analysis probably doesn't get in for now. We can cut that. I think I'd rather have Chart a Course in there. So if that's the case, if we're looking for a little bit more draw, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We probably need more draw in there. All right. Mr. Parks is saying trying to debate getting a promo of Imperial Seal for 750. It isn't even that good, but still. I hope that answered your question. Like you might be playing competitive, but 750. If you're going to get it, technically that's probably the better way because like the judge promos aren't going to be affected by a reprint nearly as much as a regular. But still, that's a lot of money in my mind. So I don't know how much I would like that. That makes sense. I think I'm going to cut Orvar. Just doesn't work in this deck nearly as much. And then Descent of the Dragons gets put back in, which I'm excited for. And that's just turning all those walls into dragons and attacking that next turn, which is way a lot of fun. All right. Duelist and Psychotic Fury. These all make sense here, so I'm going to have to grab from somewhere else to make that work. All right. My protection. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. I like this, the kind of removal too, but not very good. There's a 5. I like the idea of just like the random 10 damage if I get locked up. So I'm still cool with that. Metallurgic Summonings, though, creates a bunch of creatures and then return all instants and sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only if you control 6 or more artifacts. That's more of like an artifact or that kind of card. Maybe. Maybe still makes it. My protection was still fine. I'd like more in here. So we'll have to work these things in there if I want to do that. All right. Let's look at the removal though. All right. Fine with that at this point. Let's move these off, just the random ass blockers. We might have to cut down those. All right. Soulfire Eruption, Comet Storm, Curse of the Swine, Volcanic Island, Chandra's Ignition, Soul Sworn, Aether Membrane. All right. So tap X target permanents. Okay. What am I keeping though? Intervention makes sense. Disorder in the court. Exile X target creatures. Then investigate X times. That's a bunch of investigation. Artifact removal is pretty nice with gremlins. You're getting a bunch of tokens that way. That is phasing stuff by forces artifacts. Magma Opus worked really well. I think I got to get rid of those tappers. So Gridlock goes away. Glimpse of the Sun God goes away. Distortion Strike is pretty nice. Sublime Epiphany. Mystic Confluence works really well. Will Breaker, I think, just gets bad. Aurelia's Fury probably it kills off like a little 1/1 token army, but so does Volcanic Wind. And I think that's just better. All right, let's just find. Whew. There's that. Curse of the Swine is just probably better than Wall of Nets. Up and down. I like these X spells at this point. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. And then I can probably move one of these over. So just need a little bit of destruction in there. All right, that's an extra that can go somewhere. These probably don't make it. We can put those in with the blockers a little bit. See if there's just better options. And we have Reality Spasm that can still go somewhere. Probably going to have to draw cards somehow. And so that might just turn into the chart of course anyway. That is a little bit of a problem. Why hasn't Wizards reprinted Imperial Seal? Let's see what else you got. I'd have at least made it a lottery card in the secret layers. Imagine 1,000 of them numbered or not, just randomly inserted instead of a land. Yeah, but no, like they're saving it for sure. To some degree. You're right that it'd be super rare there and would be relevant and solid. We can move that over there. I'm not 100% sure why they haven't, other than just like time. Like they're reprinting a ton of stuff and they want to wear out what they've already reprinted before they move on to other cards they would want to reprint. They want you to get sick of Tarmogoyf. That's why Tarmogoyf's down to $25 now. They reprinted the shit out of it. That's what they want to do. Because eventually cards fall out of favor as they start printing more powerful cards. But those old tutors aren't going to get outpowered. But something like Tarmogoyf or Dark Confidant become less and less relevant as they're being played as time goes on. And so you can hold on to those tutors, I would say. Reality spasms. I get you. All right. Let's see here. Checking the phone. Let's see here. A little bit of water. All right. Getting some good work done here. I appreciate you. Red Shy is saying, but Wizards doesn't care about the secondary market. Yeah. it's not that they don't care, it's that they can't acknowledge it apparently. 2 of the commander decks this time, 2 or 3. So they're recognizing that they're gonna reprint that into the ground for a bit. But you might be being sarcastic too. I don't know. It's hard. Let's just turn for now. Chart a course or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. If it was gonna be Arcane Denial. That draws me cards. Card. One card. Um see what these fuckers are doing here. Serene Master, Shapeshifter, Guard Gomazoa, Weathered. Not a lot there. Do any of these beat that out? Mm. Oh. Hold on a second. That could be a little bit more in play. If I went and got Curiosity and Curious Obsession, that could work with that. And then that other one. Hmm. That might still be worth it. Those can go. All right. Give me another second. So I think I have. Yep. Okay. So those are right there. Let's potentially add those in as an idea. And then Charter Course is just done. And then let's get that that other one. Let's see here. It's like an 04 wall that whenever you cast a spell, it deals 1 damage. There we go. Electrostatic field. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, I'm casting plenty of creatures in here, but and it can't block, right? That just doesn't work. To each opponent's 2/1. Yeah, that's not doing enough. All right. So if you just kind of saw what I was doing, so like these on Hinata is nice draw, but if I get them on Field or Alchemist, I'm drawing 3 cards per turn, which would be kind of nice. That's 04, that's 03, that's an 04. Let's say that's better than Guard Gomazoa. Wall of Denial is pretty hard to beat. That's nice of an aggressive. Um, but we're trying stuff, right? I like this. I like that. I like that. Cards that move the game along. I think I'm good. 1, 2, 3, and then a couple more. I'm all right with that. Like it's nice to have cards that will block for days, but you want to do something else with them too, right? These are different because they will be able to like kill people attacking me, and they're really hard to kill in combat. And I've always wanted to use them, so I think it might be beneficial right now. Let's get rid of Pramicon, which is questionable, I will admit. But we will see. All right. So we got a handful of blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Um okay. Now we need to Target creatures you control connive. I cannot affect. Did I get rid of? This is all right. Open into wonder. Let's maybe. So I got a stack of cards right there that I want to try and fit in still. And we'll see. I mean, I like them at this point, but that doesn't mean that they get to go in. So what is something that I don't? I think Kazul can be cut. Let's divvy this up into card types. So instant sorceries. Just see what we got going on. Instant sorcery. Enchantment. I don't know if Descent of the Dragon is going to be very good. I don't have many creatures. We can maybe take that out. Sorceries. And this might be a like an amalgamation a little bit of what I had before and what I have now. That could easily happen. It might not be good. Like Verity Circle might just want to be curiosity. It might. Oh, that's wrong. Might want a Windfall in this deck just to work with Smothering Tithe a little bit better. Apparently Renshai thinks that Aura Shards can be cut. Wrong deck. Just saying that. All right. I think that idea of Verity Circle, it just doesn't fit this deck anymore. So I'm okay cutting that and getting Curiosity in here. Does this have to be combat damage? When this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Okay. I don't think that, Curiosity is better because whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card, which is, that direct damage I was talking about earlier. So Curious Obsession is probably backside of that. Any other enchantments that just don't feel like they're in place anymore? From all the decks. Or shards from all my decks? I think it's only in one or two. So you probably won't see it. I would be more worried about Mr. Hockey because he only has 3 decks. I have roughly 20, and so you're more likely to see it with him. I'm just saying. Um Happy with the enchantments. Let's switch over Curiosity. Verity Circle just took out all the it's probably still good against them like mana ramp, like elves decks and shit like that, but just don't need it. All right, instant speed, eerie interlude, yeah, disorder in the court, swirling mist, magma opus makes sense, confluence, epiphany, comet storm, arcane denial. I don't have a problem with those. Sorceries might be a lot. Bowable, Soul Ring, Talisman, Talisman, Arcane, Talisman, Sigil of Valor, Top. Yeah, okay. Not mad at with any of those either. If you need ore shards in your deck, it's not a good deck. You need to add in different cards. We'll make sure to tell them. I agree. I just it's fine as long as you're not facing off against like an artifact deck because that can get brutal. Um all right. Psychotic Fury. I think I think it works really well with the idea of the exalted, because I attack, it gets the bonus. I attack again, it gets that bonus again. It can get big for sure. Wheel of Misfortune. I'm already light on my drawing. Um, I don't want to take it out. I don't want to take out any of my draw spells. Descent of the Dragon, I don't think works. Now that I'm looking at it, um, there's just not a lot of. I don't have like everything gets haste right there, and then I don't have a lot of creatures that I just would want to turn into dragons. If I had like tokens, if I was going wide with tokens, that would make sense. But I'm really not. I was in the other deck. Um, Open into Wonder. Release the Gremlins by Force. Distortion Wake. Chandra's Ignition, because that is targeting your creature. And the cool thing about Chandra's Ignition, again, is if we boost it up with Angelic Exultation or Archangel or the Sigil artifact, like he gets big. He's going to kill everything with those two cards kind of working together. And they're both just good in general. So, Curse of the Swine, Volcanic Wind, Soulfire Eruption. Those are all looking good to me. So, Descent of the Dragons might be better off as um maybe a Duelist Heritage, just to give a little bit more focus to Hinata. All right, down to 6 cards. They're all not creatures. I don't know if Battlefield is necessary anymore because before it was really nice with the heroic. Hinata didn't have to be out, and I could still just be really aggressive. But now it's really much more focused on Hinata and so I can see myself cutting that. I don't have necessarily a problem with it. Stormkiln Artist has been good, but it's kind of lackluster in this deck. You're casting, they're all, phasing out or destroying. You just want to do that once. You do it once and the game is really swung into your favor. I went much more creature heavy in this one. I'm probably willing to get rid of that too, which is probably insanity. Solo makes sense. Keeper of the Cord makes sense. I'm okay with Sunscape Familiar still in. Sublime Archangel, Weathered Sentinels, Thermal Alchemist, Electrostatic Field, Smothering Egg, Shape Stealer, and Serene Master. Bygone Bishop. I should see how much that actually works. 3 or less. And that is 2 or less. We might have to check on that one. Probably all right. They just both don't trigger with Hinata. All right. Feather probably needs to get looked at. Like, how realistic is that going to be? It's probably more graveyard recursion. I mean, it's still good. Esper Sentinel. Psychic Membrane is kind of cool. Zephi works. Spell, Skite, Boom, and Mavinda. Let's reread that. 2/3 flying, pay 0. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell doesn't target a creature you control, it costs 8 more to cast this way. If the spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only once each turn. That makes a ton of sense. I'm probably okay looking to get rid of those. Um mhm. I want to go probably Psychotic Fury, although it's very narrow with into Hinata. That's probably because if I'm not able to attack with Hinata, then it's just like a bad card. I can't even target non-multicolored creatures. It's 1 a.m. and still haven't done housework. Gonna leave in a second. Shalom, guys. Hey, thanks for showing up, Parks. Yeah, it's getting a little late. I agree. I'm trying to close this up a little bit. I don't like going beyond 2 hours, except for maybe last night. All right. Storm Killing Artist and Battle Field Thaumaturge. They'll both get cut here. And I think I'm gonna go with the softer counters. So Memory Lapse and Delay for now. And then we can check out counter target spell. If the spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of into that player's graveyard. That's just going to backfire. How about we don't do that one? We're going to do negate. How about we play the smart card? Huh? Delay generally is going to just delay it a little bit. Just a little bit. Thanks for showing up, Parks, though. I really appreciate the way you come out, and this was last second everything. Let's look at the CMC here. I don't know. We've changed a lot of stuff around since we last did that. This basically turned into a spotlight deck, but I was sneaky. All right. We'll go 2, 4, 3, 2s. See how many counter spells we have going on. Probably not a lot, but enough. 3. Oh, that's right. I want a windfall in here somehow. How the fuck am I going to do that? Four. 1, 5. Bloop, bloop. Lots in that 2 range, which is good. Solid. 2, 2, 2. Yeah, lots going on at 2. So I'm not going to be terribly worried about it. Fairly even in the 3 and 4 range, and then plenty at the space where that is at. All right. All right. Let's try and get a windfall in here. All right. I don't know how we're gonna. All right. Let's go through this a little bit. The lag was real tonight. Is it storming where you're at? No, I don't think so. But I'm not looking up a whole ton. I'm pretty tired from last night's stream. But I'm trying to get in a bunch of these, so it's probably more my fault than anything. Soulfire, Intervention, Disorder in the Court, Magma Opus, I like, Curse of the Swine, Open into Wonder, I think can get cut. And I think we can get rid or get Windfall in here. I think that's going to draw me a lot more cards because it's not an aggressive deck at this point, other than one. It'll draw me less cards than Curious Obsession. We'll drop that down. And then I think I still want Change of Plans because it can phase out my creatures for basically one blue. Or I guess blue and a colorless, but that should be a cool saver a little bit. That's something that I have. Did I put Teferi's Protection in here? I didn't. Okay. All right. So I think that's like this. I think they both work. I like both of those. I think all of those work. Metallurgic Summonings, Chandra's Ignition, Mystic Confluence. Target creatures you control connive. You may have any number of them face out. Okay, it doesn't have to attack to connive, which is kind of cool. And then it's just like drawing cards, discarding cards. I'm fine with that idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5. Yeah, just so many at this 2 spot, which again is not bad. I just gotta check on things. Three spot. We got Windfall. We have Duelist Heritage, Eerie Interlude. Mm-hmm. Not entirely sure. I think that's all right. Sublime. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't dislike any of those at this point. Chandra's Ignition. All right, I've kind of already gone through there. All right. I don't think these are going to make the cut at this point. I'm going to go through and put them where they're at just to see where the drawing ramp package ends up being. Just see how that is. All right. Draw, ramp, draw. Ramp. We'll consider that protection, probably. We can consider those protections. And then that's going tall. That is Graveyard protection. Ramp. Apply damage, protection. All right. Graveyard, removal. That can be more aggressive. We're doing all right here. Plenty of removal, hopefully. That's at damage. This, we'll consider that ramp. It's going tall. Draw. Like, pretty similar, but graveyard and being aggressive. All right. This might be it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ugh. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Both of those are real low. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Let's see here. What do I care about? I like the double strike. I like my little pet card, Dust Corona, but that might be the thing that needs to go away. And I need to draw some cards. 2, 3, 6. I think Dust Corona has to go away. All right, and we need some draw. So we will put the connive part in there to draw some cards. I got to work Open Into Wonder again in there, because I think there's enough creatures that would make it, blue attack with 4 creatures and draw 4 cards. That's solid, and they're unblockable. I don't have a problem saying, thinking that's going to be all right. Death Corona. How about adding Death Corona? I'm not sure I know what that is, but you're laughing. Okay. That's what that means. Can't think of Death Corona right now. I'm sorry. It's gonna deal some damage. Kind of all right with that. We got a lot of removal. Maybe that's the problem. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I didn't have counter spells, I'd probably be okay. I like how I just apply that logic super quick. Let's do Open Into Wonder. All right. And then let's also go through and just see how many cards actually can apply to card advantage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, technically 2021. Doing all right there. Just being able to, something when it comes into play, going to be able to, I'm going to say that we're all right. That draws or can. Yeah. All right. I think this is what we're going to go with. Oh, yep. Thank you. I know Space Godzilla is Death Corona. That's right. The cycling. I just took that out of Kelsian. But hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out, giving ideas. Hopefully I gave you some ideas as well. And hopefully we made this a little bit more streamlined and a little bit better because it was just not working beforehand. Did a lot of changes there and a lot of considerations. So thanks for hanging out with me for a bit and talk to you later. Bye.